Hello everyone. Today video tutorial is covering this Spring Boot Apache Camel. So along with the Spring Boot, we are going to cover Apache Camel today. So what is the Apache Camel? So Apache Camel is the one second. Yep. So Apache Camel is in Spring Boot are the two powerful frameworks that are can be seamlessly integrate the build robustly, scalable and then efficient application. So Apache Camel is an open source integrations framework that provides an extensive range of components and connectors, enabling developers to integrate different systems, APIs, and applications. It is simplifies the complex enterprise integration patterns, allowing the developers to focus on more logical part rather than the intricacy logic, like the integration and everything that we do not need to much bother about. We just need to focus on the our logical part. So like what is the things that we have to take care from the Apache? So Apache Camel, like there is the camel root. So the camel root basically defines the flow of the messages between the different components in an application, and the integration patterns that provides the messaging routine, basically the filtering, transformations and aggregation logics, and the camel context, that is basically runtime environment where the routes are executed. So these are the three patterns, the three things that we have to act in our application. So basically the context which I have described last, it is acts as the central point for our configurations, which allow developers to manage the routes, components and the services. So I'm not much bother about the theoretical part, so let's start to create one simple Spring Boot application. So you can see here, I'm just going to create one. Here I'm going to give the name of a Spring Boot application as Spring Boot Camel Integration. So for this one, I'm going to give that Spring Boot Camel Integration Java. Here I am going to use as Maven, Java Talent, Artifact, whatever you want, package name. You can just take it whatever you want. And JDK 21, JDK version I'm going to use 21 jar or var deployment packaging type. And the dependency what we are going to add here is basically, so we have to add Apache Camel first. So you can just search over here Apache Camel. So this is the one. Next I'm going to use Lombok API, because you know that most of the times we need to use this API. Third one, a Spring Web, to make our application as RESTful API. Spring Web. That's it. You can, if you want, you can use the Spring Boot Dev Tools, so that it will, whenever you make any changes, that's automatically take care of it. So I'm just going to use in the next window. So if you see here, the formatting steps I have enabled here. For example, some of the projects wants us to do the formatting stuff, so that's why Google Java format I have enabled in my project. You can just go through that, like how can enable. I will make another video if you want, so please comment it, like if you need that I will demonstrate it. So these are the project structure. You can see here the main component, and then here I'm going to create my classes for all things, and that is the application properties file. And if you see that pom.xml file, you can see our camel camel starter, that's which we have enabled, along with the Lombok and Spring Web. These are the dependency what we have added. So this is a very simple stuff, nothing much complex logic I am going to write here. So these are the configuration what we have to do for our camel things. Though first you can see here, this is the application name, Spring Boot Camel Integration, that is application name. Whenever you are creating the application, it will auto enable, or you can just give your name as per your requirement. I'm going to give that logging dot level dot org dot apache dot camel. So basically what I am going to do here is I am just going to create that one file which I am going to move along with that camel integrations part. It will do that log, whatever the log I want to print and that file, and then according to my location it will create or move the file. So the file name by default, if you want any file name to be there, so you can make the logging dot file dot name as per your need. If you want or anything, application dot log, so it will do the stuffs for you. It will create the application log file into your working directory itself. So this file name, you can see whatever the log it will print to your console, that's log will be go to this application dot log file. So next I'm going to define one camel root. I'm not going to much bother about the packaging stuff here. I'm going to create directly one file. One I'm going to create the class called file move root. I'm going to define file move root class here, and it will extend basically the root builder, so that's it take the benefits of root builders. That will defines our root extends root builder. It will ask you to, one second, yeah. So there is the method, that configure method, which we have to override. So I'm going to implement that method over here, right? And inside that method, so basically this class defines a simple camel root for our moving the files from a source directory to the destination directory. So that's what we have to implement over here. So now I'm going to define that root basically. So you can see here the one method is from. So basically I have to give as the string URI endpoint name. If you see here, string endpoint URI builder variable, everything that you can just see here. So I am going to do here is URI pattern. So I am going to make that as direct call for this file move root. This is the root which I want to be created, and dot log, the log message what I want basically. So the log message, for example, like here I'm going to give as processing file. Which file? So dollar file name I have to give. Fine. So file name, see the file name what I want here, that will define the log of the name of the being log of the name of the file which being processed over here, and where I want the location of the file that's I want to be moved, right? So that's the next step what I have to do. So here if you see, I'm going to give as location of the file, right? The file and file path you can see over here. So let's declare one by one here. So this is the file path, right? File of file path, that's file location. I'm going to give as a static file path. Okay, so for a static file path I am going to give the location c underscore users slash, I think my user is Lenovo. One second. Lenovo. Okay, and there is called desktop, and I'm going to create one folder called test, and inside that test folder I want to create one folder called destinations. That's the file folder where that has to be stored. Okay, and then that file name question mark, this file name, and the dollar file dot name. If you want you can just make anything with the extension as well. So here I want the extensions to be back, that means the backup file, right? So move this this will move to the file to this destination directory and rename it with a .baq file extension. Fine. So this is the logic what I wanted to implement. So this is the this is my root which defines here, and let me check that the what I have given the name of the location is folder location basically, is that fine or not. So if I can show you one of the folder, I just wanted to check the given folder which I have created is fine or not. I'm just going to take this new folder location. See users Lenovo desktop new folder. So that means that see users Lenovo desktop, and the text folder it will create automatically. I do not need to much bother about. I just wanted to confirm this location still here desktop. So that's the fine. And this file move root class which I have created, this will extend the root builder and overrides the configure method to define the root basically. And root starts from the direct file move endpoint. So this is the endpoint at what I have told, like this one, and process the moves file to the specific destination location, what the destination locations we have created. So now let's create the controller class from which I just wanted to test these applications. So I'm going to create one file controller. You can define your packages and anything else as stuff that you want basically. I'm not going to much bother about that. Rest controller, so this is my rest controller class. I'm going to inject that producer template inside this file controller. So that's what it will do, is it will take care of sending the messages from the camel routes, right? So that's the class name is producer template. So I'm going to use the producer template, okay, by injecting it. So we have to auto wire this one, right? So this endpoint starts with file move process. So now I have to create one mapping, one method which is called public string. I just wanted to prune the string message like start file move method. Okay. So here in this method I'm just going to write the stuffs. Before that, what is this one? This I'm going to use that get mapping. I'm just going to create this as get endpoint, and I'm going to give the endpoint basically slash start file move, right? So this is the endpoint which I want for my method to be executed. So now I'm going to call this producer template dot send body. This is the method, fine. So this methods will take care of sending the portions. So I have to define that message, right? The message which I want to be part of that body. So here I'm going to give the flow direct file move root, okay. So file move root is the call, like, and the message sample content message what I want here, any message to be printed on the file. So that's the file which we wanted to capture as the hello all, right? Welcome to Java talent tutorial with camel integration session, fine. So this is the message which I wanted to print on the file, right? And this will trigger the camel root with the content what I want, and that's simply I wanted to return one message because this method is expecting some output as a string. So file move process started, right? So this is the message which I wanted to be print onto the console. So that's the output. Now I need to run this application, that's it basically. And before of that, let's see if I can run my application on 8080, because there is some other Oracle and all that is using that port. So if I want to change this port of my running applications, so I can do, uh, I need to change that basically because my application is not taking 8080. So I need to change the port basically. So I have to use server dot port, the port number I want 8081. Let run this program to 8081. And now I will come to here. This is my main class. Run this class. Okay, so if you run your application, so see which port it is running. So what the port we have given? We have given that 8081. So then in this port 8081 it is running our applications. So now if you go to your controller, so what the endpoint we have given, start file move. So like if I can open localhost, right, 8081 slash, I think I have given the port 8081, right? So if you hit that endpoint, see, you can see your output onto your browser, the string message that what we have given there, right? The same message may be something like, one second. So this message we will see into the browser. Somehow it is little bit late. One second. Start file move, right? Start file move. Okay, so what's the issue? Let's see and find the root cause. So no consumers available on endpoint, direct file move, root exchange. So if you see here in the producer, like we are seeing that exceptions. So somewhere we have to, one second, let me cross check. Maybe some typo mistake we have done. So that's what the root. So it is highlighting this one, no? This is the place, right? Producer template dot send body endpoint URL, which is direct file move root. Okay, let's check the code. Direct file move root, same. Okay, let's go to here. File move root. Direct URI we have given as direct file move root. Same thing. Okay. Direct file move logging processing file dot name, and what's we have given here as the file location. See, you just question mark test destination, the file name dot no extension. That's the find. Okay, so what's the mistake we have done is very simple mistake. And if you see this class we have made as controller, so what it is doing is spring bin is not able to create our bin for this class, right? So see, for this class how a spring boot itself clarify that's the bin which we have to create, because we have not using any annotation or any configuration, right? So this class must be component class, isn't it, right? So we need to define this class as components. That's why it was failing basically. So let's make this class as component and rerun the application. You must be able to see the movement. So again I am running the application. It will run on port 8081, right? So see, Now I have to execute something. Start file move. See, file move process is started. And if I can go to the desktop folder, if I will go here, desktop, then see there is the one folder must be created with name test somewhere. See, and inside that test there is the destination folder which is having the .bak file. We have not given the name. If you want, you can give the name. And if you want to see this content of this file, see the message which we have given to the text: hello all, welcome to Java Talent tutorial with Camel integration sessions, right? So the same message is printing in this log. And if you see the console, there you can see that the processing file, the message which we have given, that is doing here. See, processing file for the log and then the file log. If I can show you this part in the application configuration, we have given this logging file name. You can use this logging file name anywhere in a Spring Boot application. You must go to the target classes, somewhere it is generating that for you, this log file. One second, not here. Let me refresh. So you can see at the class level, class path level, you can must see this application.log will be created. So let me stop this application first. See here. So this is the application log which I have highlighted in your code. So that's the file which has been generated, and it will print all the console log what you will see into this one. And next time if you run your application, it will overlap, not overlap, it will add that here. See, no consumers available to endpoint. Like if we are having some error, that's what it was into the console. Like we were investigating like why it has not able to take that file, because we have not given the component, we are not making that class as bin, right? So it was failing to inject that file. So that's it is doing all together the log over means adding that log here into this file. This will investigate for you in future. Yeah, it will heavyweight if you continue adding that, so it will be heavyweight. But yeah, this is the simple process to understand that how we can give the logging file name for our applications. And this is the concept of Spring Boot Camel integration. Not only the log movement of the file, like anything you can do the logic, there is the lots of integration in real time. That's the camel has been used to do so. Okay, so this is pretty much simple steps for today. Let's continue to the next video, and please subscribe my channel. Thank you.